Hey guys, welcome back to Shep Talk and welcome back to my review of The Greatest Hits. The Greatest Hits was written and directed by Ned Benson, stars Lucy Boynton as Harriet, David Cornswet as Max, Justin H. Min as David, Austin Crute as Morris, and Nelly Furtado as herself. The Greatest Hit has a runtime of 1 hour and 34 minutes. Quick synopsis. After losing her boyfriend in a car accident, Harriet discovers that certain songs send her back in time to the moment both of them first heard the song. Now she is trying to find that one song that will take her back before the tragic day and try to save her boyfriend. Now, quick shout out to Allied. I was not expecting to see this movie or review this movie. This movie wasn't even on my radar, but it comes out on Hulu today, and I figured out why not give it a chance. Now I'm going to be upfront and honest. I'm going to kind of be brutal, especially since I wasn't really expecting to be reviewing this movie. This movie is pretty much niche. This is going to hit a certain amount of people in a certain amount of way, or the way that this director and writer wants. But a lot of people are not going to find any enjoyment in this movie, or it's going to miss the mark with them. Not find enjoyment. It's going to miss the mark with them. I'm going to say right off the bat, I connected with Harriet. At least, especially at the beginning, I fall in love very easily. And it's hard for me to move on, especially after I've fallen in love and I give myself to a person. So I get where Harriet's coming from, especially when she loses her significant other in a very tragic accident. And so it's not like it's the other party left in 1 minute you're together and the next minute you're apart and forever, because there's no coming back from it. So I understand where Harriet's coming from. It's hard to move on, especially in a situation like that. One of the things also that hits for me in this movie was that I understand the message of this movie. I, for one, am not a very big music person. I do listen to it. I put on Spotify occasionally and stuff like that. But me and my previous ex, she was the movie person. Every time she got in the car, she took the aux. It was her music playing. We made so many memories with music and songs. If a certain song, even now to this day, if a certain song comes on, especially one that it was fully us, it takes me back to a certain memory of us and what we were doing, or, doing it. There's so many dances. There's so many times we both got back and forth with it. So I understand how this movie, taking the premise of having songs or hearing songs about someone, especially when it dealt with a significant other in our life, and taking us back to a specific memory, or just having us think back on that certain someone, is very touching. I understand it fully. It happens to me even to this day, where certain songs come on and I'm like, damn, okay, I remember where we're going or what we're doing when this song would play. At first, I kind of disliked David. And I guess it's one because when Harriet finally comes forward and tells David about her condition, and I get it, right? It's a new relationship. Things can freak your partner out. But he didn't seem to be like, okay, I really like this chick. I think we do have a good vibe with each other. Let me see if I can work with her or help her out, because she has had this tragic thing happen to her, even though it was 2 years ago. And even though that she doesn't seem to be trying to deal with it healthily, or, healthily, I don't know if that's a word, but he kind of just takes off. And I get it. It's a lot of stuff. But he already knew after like 2 dates with her that she had something going on, that she had some kind of episodes going on. And he just took out of there at the first time he fully understand what was going through with her. And so at first, that kind of irked me with David. I'm like, man, you wanted someone, but you knew they had a tragedy in their past, but you really weren't there to try to be there and support with them. So that gave me some red flags with David. Now, getting on to Harriet, again, she has these episodes. She believes they're real, and I guess we don't see it until later on in the movie. I guess before this movie started, she'd already done experimentations and found out stuff about her episodes that happened, and I'm not going to try to spoil this, but she doesn't seem to want to try to prove those theories to her friends. She goes so far as to push those friends away. She is very isolationist in this movie, especially at the beginning, where she only has like really one true friend left. And even he is really starting to get tired of the things that Harriet does, because Harriet doesn't seem to want to move forward with having a relationship, dealing with the tragedy that happened 2 years ago. She just really wants to set about finding that certain song that is going to help her save Max. And another thing that kind of just seems to be a running theme with some movies is pacing. This movie is kind of a day in the life of Harriet. We see her going about her day-to-day task, and that's all fine and well, but the pacing of this movie to get to the ending it takes a while to cook. I think this movie would have been more helpful if it was more focused on Harriet and like her testing her theories that she had about these episodes that happened when she heard certain songs, or even maybe focused on her relationship with Morris, or even with her new relationship with David more, and trying to deal with everything that's going around with her. I just hated that she wanted to lose herself in the music and taking those episodes back to Max and just being with Max in that one moment that she is with, instead of really trying to live life. Overall, I think the message that this movie is trying to send is a good one. It does deal with tragedy. It does deal with how people cope with tragedy. What is healthy, what is unhealthy. And I think that is really a good message to have in this type of movie. And there's also a kind of subset of that where it doesn't deal with trying to live in the moment, but holding on to possessions of people that passed away because of how important it were to those people that you held close and what those possessions meant to them. But sometimes that is also unhealthy. Sometimes you burden yourself trying to keep something that might do you harm just because you want to hold on to it because of what it meant to those people that you lost. And this movie also tries to teach us how to deal with moving on from a tragedy, moving on from someone that we lost, because that is part of the grieving process. That is part, we have to continue living our lives. We can't live in the past. We have to move forward. We have to heal. We can still remember them and the people that we lost and what they meant to us, but we still have to live our own lives. This movie also brings up, what are we willing to give up? What are we willing to do to be happy? What does it take for a human being to deal with the tragedy that they've had to deal with, but also to be happy afterwards, to no longer put that burden on them that they lived and the other person didn't? But overall, guys, like I said, this movie has a great message, but it is slow. It is plotting. This will be a great streaming movie when, you're sitting at home, you don't have anything to do. But overall, guys, with all that being said, Shep Talk gives The Greatest Hits 2.5 Sheps out of 5. I'm going to ask it, have you seen it? Let me know down in the comments down below. Let me know what you thought. Did I miss the mark? Did I hit the mark? But that is all. If you haven't done so already, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. It does help my channel out greatly, and I do truly appreciate it. But that's all I got for you guys today. This is Darth Shep signing off.